Hello, everybody. I hope all is well with you. I am Demetra K, obviously, of the Demetra K Show, right? Now, some of y'all saw me earlier today on the African Diaspora News channel at 11 a.m. Central Time, where I had a conversation with y'all. And please join me again tomorrow, same time, same channel. And then Thursday, because now I'm going to be on there 3 days a week. So I cannot wait to I was about to say conversate. And that's actually now been put in the dictionary. Conversate is a word, but I should probably say converse with you all. Anyway, the purpose of the Demetra K Show is to promote Black love, knowledge, and understanding of all things that go on in the Black community to make us an even better people, with the emphasis on even, because we're great people, but we can always strive to do better. I'd like to say a big giant thank you, hello, and welcome to YouTube and Facebook. You are the other side of the conversation. Also to my wonderful moderators, thank you so much for all that you do. I could not and would not do this without you. Today, we're going to be talking about No Food Stamp November. I don't know where I got that from, but it's a term I'm going to use for a whole host of reasons. But No Food Stamp November is going to be bad for non-recipients too. And I saw a guy talk about it. He told a very short story, and I thought that was perfect explanation as to how it affects everyone else. Now, for whatever reason, especially on TikTok, it seems like there's people who are gloating and, kind of nah, that's what you get type of thing. I didn't actually see the video, but I guess there was a white lady on there who was eating toast and basically trying to stick it to people not getting their food stamps, basically saying that's what you get. You didn't save and all sort of stuff. Well, it sounds like she lost her job. So I don't suggest people do that. But anyway, we'll give everybody else just another moment to come on here before we get started. I'm looking out the window because I see, the weather here is, I don't know if it's going to rain or whatever it is. But, speaking of which, again, Jamaica, Hurricane Melissa, that's her name. She did hit, I guess, sometime today, and it did cause a lot of devastation to different parts of Jamaica. It dumped and is dumping, I guess, a bunch of water still. So, much prayers to them, as that's not good. They even say it's historic. So hopefully it's not as bad as people are projecting it to be. So anyway, let's see who's on here. Sister Shirley, how you doing? Hope you're doing well. Doug, what's going on with you? Brother Don, my triple OG moderator, hope you're doing well. Repent, Judah, what's going on with you? Detroit man in the building. Ironwork, how you doing? Long time no see. Hope you're doing well. Mike, nice to see you again. Thank you for joining me this morning. Don't Believe Media, what's going on with you? Jesse, how are you doing? Eddie, hello. Brother Thunder, how are you doing? Long time no see. Well, I saw you, I think, 2 weeks ago maybe, but I know you're pretty busy. Anyway, Cash App Kara Clark, how you doing? Says food probably will increase. It already is, right? And so most of us who go to the store now is like, man, it wasn't that price last week. So that's a definite. Detroit man says, don't go to the grocery store without your concealed weapon. Yeah, because I guess there's some people talking about they're gonna be snatching people's baskets and stuff. It's like, don't do that. Please do not do that. African Native, how you doing? Mad Dog, what's going on with you? Troy, nice to see you once again. Lauren, how you doing? It says Target, UPS, etc. have announced 50,000 layoffs this week. Unemployment keeps rising. Nothing is cheaper. Every job report gets worse. Bankrupt farms. The value of the dollar has dropped 11% in 2025. Yes. So all of that is going on. It's a lot of devastation, and it's unfortunately more to come. Simo, how you doing? Sister Sunlight, glad to see you once again as well. He says, boycott Thanksgiving. Fasting, no spending, enough is enough. Absolutely. And we're actually going to talk about that on the African Diaspora News channel on Thursday. So please be there for that. One Who Cares, how you doing? And Edward, hope you're having a great day. The Silent Investor, what's up with you? Ontario, California in the building. That's not too far from where I grew up. Riverside, River Tucky. So yeah, Ontario. And let's see. The female Wesley, how you doing? So there has already been looting. What? At Super Walmart. That is crazy. Oh my God. Mad Dog says a loaf of bread is $5. Yeah, I don't buy bread much, but $5 is crazy. Thank you so much, Ironwork. I appreciate you for that. And I shall, and you please do the same. Much appreciated. Alex, how you doing? He says, I missed the last couple of lives. Well, you're here now. Woohoo! Woo! Thunder said, I already told everyone about to stay alert during this time. Yep. Sunlight says, seriously, I'd have respect for people snatching from the store, not other destitute people. Right. Because how I didn't scrape, to get the money, I got to go up in the store and buy what I needed. So, yeah, you're right. It is ridiculous. Hey, Miss Sweets, how you doing? Glad to see you here. Volvo, what's going on with you? King Noble and Chloe, how you doing? Said, I've been buying African money every month. Sounds like you're doing the smart thing. All right. So let's go ahead and get into it. 5 minutes over. So anyway, I saw this video of this guy by the name of Dutch on TikTok, and I thought he gave a perfect explanation as to how this whole food stamp situation is going to affect everybody. So here we go.
Person in this country benefits from food stamps, even if you yourself don't receive them. And if you don't believe me, here's a story about Mary. She gets $150 in SNAP benefits every single month. She spends $50 of that at Diane's farm every month getting fresh produce. It's great. She gets good food. Diane gets an income. But next month, benefits are cut off. So Mary can't go to the stand. But it's not just Mary that can't go. It's the 50 other families that also use their SNAP benefits at Diane's. So now 50 families plus Mary aren't getting fresh food. And Diane has lost out on thousands of dollars of income, which is absolutely catastrophic as a small local farmer. She was going to use that money to replace the tractor that broke down so that she could keep farming. So now she literally can't keep farming. So she's not only not providing food to families on SNAP, she's not able to provide food to the community at large. And the person who was going to sell her that tractor, he was going to get a commission. And what was he planning to use that commission for? To pay for his mother's health insurance that she just lost. She needs medication every single month. And so now she has to scrape together whatever penny she has to try to pay for her medication, which means she can't get the mold in her apartment repaired, which means the repair person she was going to pay, she can't come in and do the repair. So she's lost out on income too. And the store that the repair person goes to buy things to make the repairs, they're seeing declining sales because people are making less repairs. So the store has less repairs, the repair person has less work, the mom doesn't have health insurance, he hasn't made a sale, she doesn't have a tractor, food isn't being made, people on SNAP aren't eating. Do you not see how it's all connected? Even if you don't have a shred of integrity that says, oh, I just want people to have food, I just want people to eat. Do you not see how it's all, even if you don't have it in you to care about people just having food, can you at least see how programs like SNAP being shut down literally do affect you?
Absolutely. And like I said, I thought that was a perfect explanation as to what happens, because we are seeing some people gloat, oh, you get a job, or this, that, and the other. But unfortunately, there's people who need food stamps, seniors, disabled people, people with children, or people who are down on their luck and cannot afford to pay for food. So there are a lot of people like that. Now I know when people think about food stamps, they think about the grifters and people getting over, but I wouldn't even imagine that's most of it. In fact, I think it's reported that less than 2% is of recipients commit fraud. So unfortunately, that portion of recipients is getting more of the conversation. But to further expound upon what he said, says when recipients don't receive their food stamps, it can create a ripple effect across the economy. For one, local grocery stores and supermarkets see a drop in sales, which can lead to reduced inventory and potentially even layoffs. And the drop in demand, if the drop in demand is significant, restaurants and food vendors also feel the pinch, as fewer customers means less revenue. This can then affect supply chains and even affect farmers and producers who rely on that consumer demand. On a broader level, the reduced spending power can lead to the economic slowdowns, rather impacting small businesses and even larger corporations. It also puts more pressure on community resources and can increase the need for food banks and charitable organizations. Overall, it creates a chain reaction that touches multiple layers of the economy and affects people well beyond just the immediate recipients. So just kind of piggybacking off of what he said. So it sounds like the United States government sends out about, I don't know, I heard different numbers, between $4 and $6 billion a month to recipients to then go ahead and put into the chain, if you will, right? So the grocery stores and then so on and so forth. So that doesn't look like that's going to happen this November. Of course, November is Saturday. And of course, we all know that is going on due to the shutdown. This shutdown is Trump's, I think it's his second shutdown. It's in his 28th day. The last shutdown, the record was 35 days, which was also under Trump when he was president the first time. And so they also said that I guess there was a little bit of stoppage with food stamps back then, but states, I guess, were able to come through. Now, it sounds like states are being told, hey, you might want to reserve your food stamp cash balance or whatever it is. So there's a lot of states that are not going to send out any money from their reserves if they have it. I know for a fact that California is one of them. They sent out notices to people today. In fact, it says The food stamps will be delayed. There will not be a deposit this month, when it's supposed to be. So there's a lot of things going on there. But as he said perfectly, this is not just about the recipient, it's about everybody else. And so, even with those stores, eventually they'll have to say, well, we're not getting the money we used to get, because they get a lot. It is said, I guess, that a yearly grocery stores and other approved vendors per se, they get about $120 billion a year from food stamp recipients. So depending on how long this goes on, I mean, that's a lot of money to not be able to pay your employees, as I think what Sister Tracy said, can't pay your landlord, and just a whole host of other things. And so when people get laid off or the hours cut, then that affects their household. And then they might in turn need to say, well, I can't afford to go to the store. I need some food stamps or some assistance. But guess what? Even that is on hold, right? So I guess you can apply, but there's nobody really there to approve the food stamp. So those people will end up needing some sort of assistance. And so it's just a nasty, ugly kink in the chain. But it's not even really a kink in the chain. The kink in the chain is there in Washington and Congress, because I guess the House decided, and again, the Republicans, they own, if you will, all of Washington, the executive, I guess the judicial and the legislative branches. But the House, I guess, decided that they will go ahead and do what they want to do. But the Democrats in the House, there were sort of Republicans, but the Democrats in the House are like, nah, we're not going to agree to that, because they want to give Argentina $40 billion, right? Just give it to them. Hey, here. While they're telling American people in need, now y'all going to have to make it do what it do. So they can't agree, but they will get their paycheck. Congress will get their paycheck. They will not stop. And of course, you guys have probably heard a lot about the air traffic controllers, where they're starting not to show up to work, because I guess today was the first day that they start to get the checks with $0 on it. So it's like, why are you sending? Are you being funny? Why are you sending me a paycheck with nothing on it? Right? Okay. So a lot of them are just like, I'm not going to work for free, because I need to figure out another means to take care of myself and my family. I saw one of a guy, he's I guess a door dasher, and he's like, yeah, I'm going to be door dashing because I can't go to work for free. Now, of course, they'll be back paid when it's all over, but they're like, hey, I got a need right now. So with that, speaking of the kink in the chain, a lot of airports are like, listen, we don't have the manpower as far as air traffic controllers to get these planes off the ground safely. In fact, I read that here in Houston, Bush International, that I guess after 4, so I don't know if they did it or not. I guess they're going to be grounding a lot of planes that, hey, if you got a flight going out anytime soon, forget about it. Sounds like Los Angeles, they're starting to do the same, and a couple other places, because they're like, it's not safe to put planes in the air with, a minimal amount of air traffic controllers. And I'll tell you what, I surely wouldn't want to be in the air right now with the shortage of air traffic controllers, or with them thinking about, I'm doing this for free, right? I want them to be focused on these planes or whatever it is they need to be doing. I don't want them to be thinking about the hard times that they're going to have and what they're going to say to their landlord because they didn't get paid, or how they're going to put food on the table because they're waiting for Washington, Trump and Congress and all of them to get their stuff together. So I want to have a conversation with y'all, but people who are out there gloating, please stop doing that. Because as I always say, there but for the grace of God, there go I. And it could be anybody. And like I said, I spent some time on TikTok, and I've seen people from all walks of life on there saying, hey, I'm not getting my food stamps, and that's going to hurt. So I want to see what you guys have to say. Yeah, JJ, how you doing? A $300 million ballroom. That's full speed ahead, which he says is coming from donations. But my thing is, even if it's coming from donations, it's kind of insensitive. It's let them eat cake. I'm going to have a ballroom, I'm going to make a ballroom. Like, so when I think of a ballroom, we think of what? A party. We think of people having a party. Yeah, we're having a good time. We're having a ball, right? That's where that comes from. So Trump, I guess, and whoever's helping him with this, you're more concerned about having a ball, while Americans are 44 million of them are trying to figure out how they're going to put food on the table. It's so like just F you type thing, you know? So anyway, let's see what y'all have to say. And thank you so much for bearing with me. Going back to the top. All right. The female Wesley says Black people should only be shopping for essentials and supporting Black businesses. Yes. And unfortunately, Black businesses and stuff will probably be harmed first because, you know, they already be struggling. They already struggling. So with this, I don't know, you know, they're probably going to be harmed financially first. But again, you know, because they might be a supplier. They might supply whatever to grocery stores, and the grocery stores might say, well, we still got a bunch of that on the shelf. We don't need no more. We still got a lot in stock. So we'll get back to you when and if we need some more. So it's going to be real nasty for everybody. Cash App, Carrie says chemical filled bread. Yeah, a lot of that bread is not good at all. But $5 is crazy. You know, when I think about $5 bread, I think of the upper echelon of bread, whatever it is. But if that's $5 for a regular loaf of, like you said, chemicals, no, you can keep it. Thank you, Miss Sweets, for reminding everybody to hit the like button. Sister Shirley says poverty makes a lot of people steal. That's why white supremacy plans on keeping us at the bottom caste. This keeps their prisons filled. Yeah, and that's very diabolical, but you're 100% right. They don't care if people steal. They're like, we need to fill these beds up, right? These private prisons, they gonna get money during this shutdown. Oh, yes. You know, these investors in these prisons, they're like, yeah, go out there and steal a lot. Because you're going to come see us. And unfortunately, there's going to be some people who won't get the book thrown at them, probably for petty theft or whatever the case is. But I don't even know why anybody would get on the internet talking about they're going to be, you know, snatching people groceries and stuff. It's like, that's called evidence. I don't know. Don't believe media. It says, let's get the math right. Demographically, New York City, my fellow brothers and sisters, whether FBA or FCH, foreigners coming here, says, if y'all been draining the system, shaking my head, those who really depend on it, I pray for you. Yeah. And there's a lot of people who really depend on it. I saw a video of a woman who lives in New York. She says, I'm not going to say who it is, but she says, y'all know who it is. She says they're the biggest recipients in New York City of food stamps. And somebody said it's the people with the Shirley Temple curls on the side of their head. Sunlight says Publix has Ezekiel bread, buy one, get one. Now that's rare. For Ezekiel bread, buy one, get one, rare. So, you know, because Ezekiel bread don't really fly off the shelf like that because it's expensive and it's good, kind of, I guess, but it ain't like good bread. So, you know, they like, okay, we need to get rid of this. We say that's the best bread for you is Sprouted. Yep, in the freezer section, it's a deal. Get it today. Yeah, we don't have a Publix out here, but you can also keep that bread in the freezer until you need it again. It ain't sourdough, I'll tell you that right now, but it is better for you. Thunder says, can you imagine you're pushing your cart to the car to pull up to your groceries, and all of a sudden you wake up with a permanent Frederick Douglass part in your hair and your groceries are gone? Yeah, ain't that something? Now you got to be, you know, looking all kind of ways to make sure ain't nobody gonna run up on you. For me personally, somebody did it, I'm like, here, I don't know if you're gonna like what I got. My grocery list ain't all that exciting. Ain't no Zuzus or Wham Whams in here. I don't too much buy that kind of stuff. But yeah, have at it. You know, I'm not gonna be fighting nobody over no grocery basket. I'd rather suck air through a straw before I do that. Simo says, people and their stories. Absolutely. Cash App, he says, all equally uncomfortable. This is good. Yeah, everybody. It's a wake-up call for everybody, you know. JJ says, money, a multiplier effect. Yep. The real Stephen Long, how you doing? Says, supermarkets, mom and pop grocery stores will be a part of the chain reaction. Their bottom line will be hit. Layoffs increase. Yeah, so it's just going to keep snowballing. You know, there's a Reagan that talked about the trickle-down effect. It's going to be some trickle down. It's going to be some trickle up, trickle right, left, in a circle. Everybody going to get it, right? And there's no one that's safe. You know, people thinking, well, it ain't going to be me. You know, it might be you. I saw a video of a white guy on TikTok. He's an older guy. He said, I work 80 hours a week and I cannot afford my groceries. Now, he was actually mad at the people who were crashing out online about not getting their food stamps. He's like, I work 80 hours a week and I can't afford my groceries. If I wanted to go on vacation, I can't afford to do that. He says, I don't know what I'm going to do for Thanksgiving because I can't afford to pay for that. So he's like, I don't hear you guys' mouth. So yeah, Bill, how you doing? Once again, says still crying, get a job. Oops, you have one. Laugh out loud. No, there's a lot of people who work that are getting food stamps. They call it the working poor, right? They don't make enough to afford to buy groceries. And a lot of y'all been to the grocery store lately, and it ain't cheap. Back in the day, we could fill our basket up with $100 worth of stuff, but $100 worth of stuff is like a little portion of the basket. And like somebody said, yeah, groceries are going to go up even more because those grocery stores are like, well, we're not getting any food stamps. So you people with the shmoney, yeah, that grape jelly, yeah, used to be $2 last week. It's $6 today, right? Because they're going to try to recoup, and that's going to be bad for everybody. Let's see who else is on here. Lauren says more than 40% of the people who receive SNAP government assistance live in the South. The South has more SNAP receiving residents than any other region in the United States. I take your word for it, but it sounds about right. One who cares. Thank you for asking everybody to hit the like button. Hey Tracy, how you doing? Yeah, JJ says economic ripples throughout the country. Yep. Y'all loves, how you doing? He says, hello. Miss Sweet says, I'm sorry, it's definitely a domino effect of how all these things work together. Absolutely. And we're gonna watch it unfold in real time, live and in living color. You know, because people put everything on the internet, and we're gonna see it. We're gonna see it all unfold, how it's gonna affect everybody. And now listen, if I was a grocery store owner or anybody who was a vendor to receive food stamp benefits, you know, like people want to buy, I would be so nervous because a lot of their money comes from food stamp recipients. So you don't really hear much from them, but yeah, they're hoping and praying that Congress comes to a consensus, but it doesn't look like they are. It's day 28. The longest one was 35 days under Trump. The last time, they're saying Mike Johnson, you know, the Speaker of the House, he's like, yeah, this could go on past Thanksgiving. And just kind of how, you know, that he says it like, oh, well, yeah, it could go on past Thanksgiving because the Republicans are like, we're not budging. Democrats are like, we're not budging either. So, yeah, if it goes on past Thanksgiving, which essentially is a month from now, what you going to do about it? So it's going to get very interesting. Cash App Carrier says fasting isn't a bad thing. Yeah, you know, I think you should fast if you want to. I don't think you should be forced into fasting because you don't have the means to buy food. I get what you're saying, fasting. I actually want to try it starting at the beginning of the year with my sister. But I don't think that should be something you should have to do. You know what I mean? I don't know. Fasting is not bad. So don't mistake me in that. Tiffany, how you doing? Says, many Black American communities have food deserts. With so many in our community on food stamps, a lot of folks don't have access to fresh food. Let's remind our local government officials of that. They already know. They know there's food deserts in our community. They don't care. You know, they don't care. These mayors, because those are the ones who are kind of responsible for that. They know when they're saying, hey, you know, Habib and them, y'all can go put another liquor store in the Black community. They know that. That's why they're kind of mad too with Zohran Mamdani there, who's running for the mayor in New York City, because he wants to put grocery stores in every boroughs. Is that how you say it? And the immigrant stores are like, no, we work too hard. We don't want grocery stores. It's like, why y'all? I mean, the people want the stuff y'all have in your store, the bodegas, I guess, great. But there should be grocery stores in neighborhoods, right? So, yeah. Cloudless, how you doing? Hope you're doing well. The real FBA page, boy, what's going on with you? The real Steve Long says, caution short-term or long-term recession ahead. I've even seen some people say the word depression. They said if you study history and you look at what was going on during the Great Depression or right before, it's reminiscent of what's going on now. And a depression is nasty. A lot of us have lived through a recession, but a depression, I don't know if any of us today per se, because there has been like that I can remember two. There was one right before the Great Depression, 1929. But I don't know if there's been another depression like that since. But if a depression happens, yeah, nasty. Miss Sweet says, facts, Demetra. And Don't Believe Media says they are talking about abolishing the IRS. Let's get that going. If you're gonna take it, then thou shalt give it. Yeah, they talking, but they ain't walking fast enough, right? Yes, Lauren says college grads will be fine when SNAP ends. They have never used it in the first place. I'm more worried about the poors or who attend Trump's rally. What will happen to them? Well, I mean, I guess they'll have to figure it out. I don't know anything about college students not using their food stamp benefits. I don't know. Take your word for it, but a lot of them do get it. Synovia, how you doing? Hope you're doing well. JJ says MAGA crying now. Yeah, because again, they didn't think that what Trump was trying to do meant them. They thought that it meant everybody else. And then it was like, this is the same thing with the Obamacare, right? It's like, I don't want that Obamacare. Obamacare is bad. And then they say, do you like Affordable Care Act? Oh, yes, that's wonderful. I've got my teeth fixed. Did you know that was Obamacare? It is. Right, so they don't even really be knowing what they voting for until they get that notification that, yeah, your food stamps ain't about to drop. We don't know when they going to drop. We'll pay you back when they get it figured out in Washington. But yeah, that means while Trump is building a $300 million ballroom and all other things that he has going on, they know now. Tracy says, I was listening to this woman talk about how her husband employees make about $68,000 a year and they get food stamps, child care, and medical care. Go figure. That's interesting. Is that for a family or whatever? Because $68,000 seems like a lot to be getting food stamp recipients. So it's probably a little bit more going on there. You say, and they pale folks say, yeah, we're not surprised, right? There's a lot of white folks getting food stamps. Don't listen to them online talking about you blacks. You blacks are getting food stamps, you welfare. All right. Mad Dog says only in America. All right, so let me skip down just a tiny bit. Big Rich, how you doing? Says now with the food stamps being cut off, you can see how many white single-family households depend on the government, but the media always pointed at black people because they cannot get people to click on stuff if they're not talking about black people, because we are very sensational in any and everything that we do. And so it also satiates their appetite to hate black people, to paint black people as these big time food stamp recipients. As I always give the example, they think it's a big fat black woman sitting on her behind, eating all the snacks, watching TV, and that thanks to her EBT card. That's the narrative they try to paint. That's the image they try to paint, but it's actually their people. You know what I mean? I mean, it's all people from all walks of life, but they don't never include their people. I saw a couple white ladies on TikTok before I came on here that was talking about, that they're going to be harmed because they get food stamps as well. And one lady says, forget what you heard. I'm a very white woman and I'm getting food stamps. So yeah. Your mama, and that's the name. I'm not saying that to nobody. How you doing? Says the job is not slavery. Tell them they get paid hourly. We know many blacks never had a job. Weekly paychecks keep you out of jail. Get in the game. It's a nice day today. I think it is. Tracy says Argentina, from my understanding, is about to get another 20 billion. So is it 20 billion more than the 40? So 60 billion? Because that's crazy. Mad Dog says, I bet Congress not affected. Nah, they gonna get their paycheck. I haven't seen one of them say, hold my check. check until my constituents get everything they need. I ain't seen not one of them do it. So, of course, you can hold out. I'm not going back to work. I'm not going to agree because you're getting your check. Now, if their check wasn't going to be sent out, I bet you, hey, come on now. Come on, let's get this thing. They'd be like a jury that's been sequestered. And they say, hey, you're going to be locked up in this hotel until you come to a conclusion. They're going to come to a decision real quick if they, their paycheck wasn't going to be rolling out. Thunder says, I'm not sure how much more we must be shown by these folks before we learn we must do for self. Yeah, and this is kind of all divine that everybody, especially us, so we're waking up and saying, yeah, we better get about doing for ourselves. And y'all know, I love this picture behind me more than a lot of pictures that I have. Of course, y'all know that's Via Lararo, Madam C.J. Walker's estate. Her family still has it. But some, and I say some of those people are the ones that she employed or gave an opportunity to work for self. And she built her cosmetic company, if you will, hair care and all that from the ground up. She was a washer woman. That was her title, where she washed white people's underwear for a living. She decided she wasn't going to do that no more because her hands were bloody and raw and all of that. And she was like, yeah, it's got to be a better way. And there you go. She did that in the early 1900s, the early 1900s, where any and everything was going down, right? And it wasn't favorable to Black people. But she was like, let me do for self. And not only let me do for self, but let me do for all my folks. And they were, she was able to get the Black men from being butlers and all that other stuff, the other sisters from washing drawers of white people. So, yeah, we need to get back to that. Sister Tracy says some federal employees aren't allowed to get other employment during the shutdown to feed themselves or pay them bills. That's crazy, because I'm like, how would you know if I'm under the table? I'm just saying. Let's see. Eddie says, sounds like America is bankrupt. Yeah, to say the least. Ooh, I am so behind. Tracy said, get out of your head, huh? Timothy, how you doing? Thank you so much for that love and appreciate you. Says, I'm hearing people who's about to blame Trump. Yeah, listen, I know this shutdown thing has a lot to do with the politicians, everything really to do with the politicians, but don't cause nobody that to make you go looting, because going to jail without the bail and no food and money, that's you just compiling the problems, right? So don't do that. Dr. J.H. Irons, how you doing? Says all of this is happening because we are demanding tangibles. Yeah, part of it is. I'm reading this comment. Your mama. It says USAID stole trillions. Chelsea Clinton got 89 million for your Democrat vote, huh? Says then Biden put immigrants in Black schools because of your Democrat vote, a conspiracy of mocking and laughter. I don't know about Chelsea Clinton, but if she got $89 million, yeah, that's crazy. But yeah, partially you're right in regards to the way we voted. Yeah, we helped everybody else. So yeah, Caprice, how you doing? Hope you're doing well. Well, thank you. I appreciate that. Thunder says having a ballroom makes me think about the Gilded Age. Yep, Rockefeller, Ford, Carnegie, Walter Chase, J.P. Morgan. These captains of industry or robber barons, whichever you want to call them, robber barons, right? Yes, that's exactly what it is. Yeah, the Chases, they got in a little bit of trouble because while the economy was doing bad, they were doing well, and they blamed the banks for, causing that. And, like you said, the Gilded Age type thing, eating high on the hog while everybody else was kind of like, yeah, what we gonna do? Rains, how you doing? Nice to see you again. One Who Cares says you can make bread only using regular vanilla yogurt and self-rising flour. It's very tasty. Yeah, it doesn't take that many ingredients at all. A Qatarian, how you doing? Says non-recipients mean the greedy Asian store owners who were buying EBT for 50 cents on the dollar from them homeless people in Seattle during their Operation Meal Ticket raids. Yeah, and the Asians, a lot of people do it, right? A lot of people have been doing it. I saw it was, I don't know what he was. I don't know if he was white or whatever in Florida, Miami. He probably never getting out. They said he got, I think, millions over a time span from recipients who would sell him their food stamps, and then he would stock his store with food stamp benefits. So there's a lot of people doing that. Robert, how you doing? Says the most honorable Elijah Muhammad put out the book Fall of America in 1974, and now we are starting to see what he was, that he was not a false messenger of God. Do I have it over here? I think I do. Yes, you're absolutely right. It's almost as though this book was written today. If you haven't read it, you should read it. But it does. It reads like he sat down yesterday and was like, okay, so let me write about what happened yesterday, right? Nope. Like I said, 1974, something like that. Fall of America, you should read it. It's a great read. I promise you. But yes, indeed. Mike Lewis, how you doing? Long time to see. He says, hello, Demetria in chat. Black people, we have to get back in the kitchen. Bread making is easy. Let it rise and bake it, and less expensive too. Yeah, it's really easy. My daughter and I, when I say my daughter and I really mean my daughter, bakes bread. We haven't done it in a while because it's summer in the oven, but that is cooling off. We'll start to do it again. Black Butterflies, how you doing? It says Soylent Green, meatballs, rice, and eggs. Yeah, people are going to get very creative. Let's see. Oh, I'm so behind. Silky Danielle, how you doing? Hope you're doing well. And Diane, how are you today? Let me go and just catch up, y'all. I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to be so behind. Ruffin, how you doing? Says Americans should be asking how many trillions have we spent on foreign conflicts and wars? Too many to count. And I saw, I saw this white dude. He was crashing out. But he was like, I don't get food stamps. But he says, I damn sure ain't about to be mad about people getting food stamps so they can feed their families before I get mad about all the money they spent on the wars, the ballrooms, and a whole host of other things that they doing, right? Well, you know, or what they're doing with our tax dollars. I'm not going to care about that as much as I care about where all of our money is going for everybody else. So absolutely. Timothy, thank you once again. Love and appreciate you for that. He says inflation, recession, loot, military. This is us. Or you mean the U.S.? Yeah. American is apple pie. Jacqueline, how you doing? Hope you're doing well today. Let's see. Who else haven't I seen? Beverly White, how you doing? He says, can you get arrested for posting videos about stealing November 1st if you actually doing it? If you're actually doing it, yeah, you can get caught. It's called evidence. I wouldn't do it at all. I wouldn't be playing, joking, none of that. Because what is it worth? You know what I mean? That you'd be like, I was just playing. Like, we'll play about something else that's not criminal behavior. Someone says, Demetria, I didn't know that sourdough bread was good. I will be getting some. I seriously never knew that. Yeah, it's good for you. It's better for you than all the other breads because of how it's fermented and things like that. So yes, if you're going to do it, I like sourdough. But it can be fattening too if you eat too much. Miss Sweet says definitely a lot of snowballing facts, Demetria. Yes, indeed. Valerie, how you doing? Says 43 million on food stamps and half are illegals and immigrants. So yeah, there's quite a few of them. I don't know exactly how many, but yeah, there's a lot. And that's dependent upon the state. So a lot of states do include them. Craig, how you doing? Well, thank you. Thank you. You see, I got my fan because I'm hot. And tomorrow's going to be like 67 degrees. It's 87 now, but it's going to be 67 degrees. So we're finally here in Houston getting a winter. It's like, thank God Almighty, okay? Because I'm literally going to melt away. But thank you. Let's see. Who else haven't I seen? And I promise you I'm going to start back. Hey, Brother Damon, how you doing? Hope you're doing well. Let's see. Celeste, what's going on with you? Mr. Norris, how are you? Says, change in America always comes from the bottom up, never from the top down. Come on now. And that we're going to definitely see that. Brother Damon says Walmart is going to lose a grip. They already do, right? The Walmart that's close to me, usually they have like a lot of stuff behind glass doors or whatever. You have to get the associates to unlock it. But I guess they don't have it anymore. I was like, what? They took the doors off, but I think they're probably having a meeting like, yeah, we need to put those locks back on because people going to be up in there. 5-finger discount going on. Ms. Sweet says DoorDash is offering the free meals and delivery of EBT SNAP recipients starting November 1st. Wow. They're going to have to wait on that. But that's good, you know, because that's convenient because a lot of people who get those benefits do not have transportation. So that's good. Alex, she says, I read that the Republicans are asking for the names of all SNAP recipients. The Dems, Democrat states are refusing to give up the information to prevent illegals from being deported. I haven't heard that. If that is true, yeah, it's like, come on, man. You know, It's a mess. But I think they should know who the money is going to. That shouldn't be a secret, I would think. Tracy says, so they so happy about people stamps getting cut, but not thinking about people not getting paid is just crazy. Yeah, it's nasty. It's just a nasty ricochet. Yeah, average logical thinker, how you doing? Says my governor just announced he's setting aside funds for families affected on the first. I hope he comes through. Yes, so there are some states who are saying, yeah, we're gonna, set aside some funds. I guess maybe they have a reserve or something. They're gonna try to do what they can. There are some states, but a lot of states. I was surprised that California, guess said not so much. I guess some people got notices saying, yeah, the food stamps ain't about to hit, at least in Los Angeles, and it's California, so that's kind of crazy. African Native says hunger is not a form of fasting. Yeah, fasting. Yeah, like hunger because you can't eat. Yeah, that shouldn't be correlated together. Let's see, who else haven't I seen? Power in Reps, how you doing? Says our God is forcing us to not participate in these evil holidays. Time to come back to our true ways and our own holidays. Yeah, I don't have a problem with people celebrating Thanksgiving because Thanksgiving is an opportunity for people to get together with their families or whatever. Now, if you celebrate it because the Pilgrims came over here with the Indians, yeah, you probably should rearrange how you think about those things. But if you want to use that day to get together with your family because everybody's off and you want to eat your grandmama's mac and cheese and all that, yeah, please by all means do that. Consider that to be a family gathering. But yeah, you talking about let's pay homage to the Pilgrims, stick yourself. Zenobia says this is a game for Trump. He's going to break his own record of 35 days. Yeah, it looks like they, and they're not even apologetic about it at all. All right, so I'm so behind. I'm finna catch up. Deacon, how you doing? Says drill music should be banned. Enough is enough on losing Black life. Brandon Johnson, instead of fighting for illegals, fighting for the young Black adults and children dying every day in our terrible states. Because that'd be too much like right. He ain't gonna do that. Brandon Johnson is a part of the problem. It's to me, I call it city sanctioned genocide. They know that all that destruction is going on in our communities, and they could do something about it. I mean, how is it that, and I'm not agreeing with it necessarily, but how is it that Trump can send the National Guards in some places and people are saying, I don't know how true it is, that things are better there? How is it that he can do it, but the mayors of those cities can't do it? I don't know, but you're right. He doesn't care about Black people. He cares more about the illegal immigrants than anybody. And I hate when he correlates the struggle of immigrants to that illegal immigrants, I should say, to that of Black American, our ancestors. I hate that. He does that often. And it's like nails to a chalkboard to me that he does that because he's trying to marry our situation together. They're not the same at all. Let's see, who else haven't I seen? Because I see I'm so behind. Priceless Princess, how you doing? Says, and there are plenty of Black YouTubers willing to sell out their own for that MAGA money. I don't know. I'm on YouTube. I don't know if you're speaking of me, but I didn't get a dime of MAGA money. You know what though? I don't know if I would have taken it. I probably would have, but I have been accused of taking MAGA money. I'll tell you right now, if I was to take MAGA money, I wouldn't be on here no more because I'm taking a bag. Okay. So I don't even know what that comment is in regards to, but I wonder why people don't talk about the money that Democrats got from Kamala to sell Black people absolutely nothing. Nobody ever mentions that. Blue MAGA gave out a bunch of money to tell Black people on YouTube, because Roland is on YouTube, to continue to vote for nothing because the Black lady should go to Washington and continue to participate in benign neglect of the Black community. Even when she said out of her own mouth, I'm not going to do something that just benefits Black people now. But nobody cries about them getting the bag. Oh, Al Sharpton, he got 500 large, 500 racks. Nobody's crying about that. And what has he done for Black people? He wanted us to vote for more of nothing as well. But y'all talking about YouTubers getting MAGA money? If you're going to talk about it all. Okay. Shout out to Usher. All right, moving on down. Let's see. Thank you, Mike. Nice for reminding people of ways to donate to the channel. Love and appreciate you for that. Yakuba, once again, I saw you earlier. Herschel, I think I saw you earlier too. How you doing? Thomas, how you doing? Says, I'm a black man living in Nashville, Tennessee. I'm in a wheelchair and they won't give me food stamps. Yeah, so you have stories like that. There's a lot of people who need it and cannot get it. I've heard about people just making a couple of dollars too much and they tell them they can't get it. Absolutely bananas. Yicklebury says, I just saw a white lady showing she got $4,000 pending in food stamps. How many children she got? It's crazy. Princess Kate, how you doing? Says, we all love King Trump. Who does we you speak of? Let's see. One of two. I think that's how it is. How you doing? It says Americans on SNAP, white 8 million, black 4 million, Mexicans 2 million, etc. There you go. So it's more of them, whatever, but they're hurting as well. But again, that's the narrative that is just blacks. So yeah. Oh my God, I'm so behind. Eddie, how you doing? Said them folks get food stamps on Palm Beach Island, and that's Trump's neighborhood. Ain't that something? I guess I bet you they get to see his motorcade all the time, right? Renee, I'm sorry, Renwood, how you doing? Hope you're doing well. Jamarcus in the building. How you doing? Sorry it took me so long to get to you. Facts not feeling the same here. How you doing? Says peace and love, family. Is going to get worse. Have a plan for after the collapse. And I don't mean vote to the white supremacists back in power on the other side of the collapse. Yeah. Have a plan. Because as you can see, like you said, these politicians don't have a plan for us. They got a plan for them. Okay. That does not include us. Tracy says, I watched a video last night on how black folks have to buy their food stamps from the government if they needed food. Did you see it, Dimitri? I have not seen it, but yeah, black people were not, black Americans, I should say, were not originally included in the food stamp program, if you will. It took a while for black people to actually get that. So yeah, Tracy says, I saw what the dude you're talking about. So you're talking about the one that was crashing out, that one? Sister Shirley says, let's not forget about how much money is being spent on illegal immigrants. Absolutely. Thank you, Silky Danielle. I appreciate you for that. Buckhorse in the building. How are you doing today? Dear self, what's going on with you? Who else haven't I seen? Because I didn't realize I was so behind. Y'all know I just be running my mouth. And where he says, those folks on EBT better go after them immigrants. They got all the benefits. Yeah, they got a lot of them, right? Raven, how you doing? Says DoorDash is wrong for those upcharges and fees. I don't do DoorDash. I might every once in a while, or my sister will DoorDash my dad something to eat. Yeah, he might say, "Can you? I want to eat this," or whatever. So we'll DoorDash him some food, but I don't do it for myself because the fees or whatever. So yeah. Another thing too is people, the DoorDashers, they don't get paid that much. They really rely on tips, and it's sad when people don't tip them. It's sad. If you're doing something like that, you should tip them. Priceless Princess, she says our food banks are giving away fresh produce, potatoes, apples, onions, pears, and zucchini. That's what I'm talking about. And the food banks, they are busting at the seams too, because there's so many people now going there and relying on them. Thunder says Aldi is on 38. It is in 38 states and are offering $40 Thanksgiving. So families, if you celebrate the holiday, go check them out. Yes. And I heard HEB as well is doing something. They're giving away a bunch of food. I think like $5-6 million of food to people. So, big ups to those organizations that are pitching in, because they probably got it. I don't know how long they'll have it to do it like that, but it's good that they are helping. So I love to hear stuff like that. Let's see. Brother Samuel, how you doing? He says, Kwame Ture also said no changes can come from the top down. Changes can only come from the bottom up. The masses and the masses alone can make them. There you go. There you go. Thunder says, DK, can you show us your recipe for bean pie again? I don't have a recipe for bean pie. Now, bean soup, it just varies. It's pretty simple, but I'll have to. Did I ever make a video or something? Maybe I did, but bean pie, listen, my daughter and I are going to learn how to do bean pies this winter because I want one. So when we figure that out, of course, there's a lot of them on YouTube and stuff. of course, a bean pie is from that of the Nation of Islam, but I am gonna make me one, or she gonna make it. I told them that you're making bean pies. She's the baker. She likes to do all that other stuff. I like to just throw stuff in the pan and say, "Here, dinner served." Dear Sal says, "That's why I said it ain't gonna go on too long because of those what says especially the so-called chosen ones." Okay, got you. The Upper East Side and West Side of Manhattan have them living 3 on Section 8. Ain't that something? That is crazy. Skipping down so I could catch up. I apologize, y'all. Y'all are really going in on the comments, and I love it. I love it. Miss Sweet says Demetri K drops gems and keeps us informed on current events. I try. Thank you. He said we love it here, and I love y'all being here as well. Micah says the government shutdown is lasting because of illegal receiving healthcare. That's the allegation. Although there's been a lot of people, experts and people who've looked into what's going on, said that's not true. Now, are the Democrats trying to get the benefits to give to the states and then they funnel it down? That could be a thing. But on a federal level, they can't get it. But the other way, sure, they might be able to do that. Tyrone, how you doing? Says, why does the Black church not help? I heard the Black community gives the church billions. Yes, you know what? It's funny because I saw that Pastor Jamal Bryant actually is going to be doing something for the month of November. And I should give him a shout out because, I talk about Jamal when he be with the foolishness, but we should give him credit where credit is due. He's telling people, from what I understand, instead of paying your tithes and offerings, let's, I guess, bring food or buy food for people who need it. So that's pretty big of him. Maybe other churches will follow suit and do that more often. So I saw him say for November, we're going to be feeding people instead of paying your tithes and offerings. So gotta talk about it all. Makiba, how you doing? And let's see. Dougie says, I stopped DoorDash because even though we tipped, most of the drivers we had didn't want to ring the bell. If we didn't track it, they'll want to place our food on the ground. Oh, so yeah, that's another reason for me not to be doing that. But yeah, come on, ring the doorbell. Say, hey, your food is here or whatever. But yeah, regardless of whatever it is, tip them. Because it's it's a job they got to do. Go get the food, bring it back. And, I can understand sometimes they get $2, $3 or whatever. It's like, yeah, Maud, how you doing? Thank you. And I think I saw you earlier too. So thank you for being here with me this evening. I got to the bottom. Oh, Dirty Laundry Media, how you doing? Said it's true. Makiwa says I grew another garden. This over the summer, had more than enough. I just gave away 100 pounds of food. That is very good of you. I love to hear stuff like that because listen, I can't tell people what to do, but there's going to be a lot of people falling on hard times. And if we know those people personally, if you got it, I'm not telling you what to do, whether it's food, it's money, it's whatever. If you got it, help in any way that you can, because there's going to be a lot of people who, need that extra help. And I personally know a few people that I planned on doing what I can to help. Because I always say, there, but for the grace of God, there go I, that I'm not in that situation. But if I ever were in that situation, it sure be nice to think that I would have people to help me, and I would. And I would say I wasn't always in a position, not that I'm really like in a position to do that now, but I always felt like even if I got a little, I want to share that as well. But I haven't always been in a position to do that. There's been times, like I told y'all, I used to clean toilets when I had a master's degree. Right? Because I wasn't too proud to say, well, I'm gonna sit on my behind and wait for something to come along. I was like, oh, we going to clean houses today? Yep, let's go. I didn't hate it, but I didn't love it either. And I say that is because while I was doing that house cleaning per se, I was thinking about I'm gonna be able to put food on the table. I'm gonna be able to pay a bill or whatever it was. So I wasn't too proud to do that type of work. But during those times, it was rough. That's when I had came out of my divorce for 10 months. And I had to, move. And it was just a lot, right? It was very trying for your girl. But you know what? I persevered any damn way, right? And I've often been likened to a phoenix that rises. Donovan likes to say that about me. And so I'm just saying that is because you see different people, you don't know what they've gone through or whatever the case is. But I could tell you, I'm one that's had people help me when times were hard. And so I just want to kind of, return that favor if I can to those. And like I said, I already know people who are already like, yo, do you think you can? It's like, absolutely, I can. So I just want to put that out there. So anyway, Brother Todd, how you doing? Hope you're doing well. Says God is forcing the people to do something for themselves. He is just using the government to do it. That is true. We have to get to that point. I was talking to a friend early this morning, and she was like, yo, I'm watching some kids, right? I'm babysitting. I should say I get my hustle on. And I said, I admire you so much because I know that's probably not something you really want to do, but it's what she has to do, right? She's tapping into her ingenuity. She's like, I have the ability, the know-how to babysit or whatever it is. I'm going to do that because I need to put food on the table. So people are going to have to, like you said, get back to doing for ourselves. So absolutely. Brother Raven, how you doing? Says that $250 million ballroom 300 was just an excuse. Solid info is the presidential bunker. Yes, I've seen people say that. And I know it's located on the east side, which is being upgraded security-wise and other upgrades. But you don't think the White House has a security bunker already? I don't know if it does or doesn't, but that's interesting. But I have heard people say that. African Native says, I used to donate to a church. Once I asked a deacon where the money is going, he replied, do not question the just donate. I scratch my head. Yeah. Somebody tell you something like that up in the church, be like, because that ain't even biblical for me not to be asking no questions. It tells me to ask, right? And if you can't tell me where the money is going, well, guess what? My money ain't going. Right? So yeah, the average logical thinker says, that's right. A lot of us have been there before. Yeah. I'll tell y'all time. I don't want these people finna be on here acting brand new. Time out. Well, I don't understand you guys. My brother Walter has a saying, AGTI, also going through it. And he tells that to people. He's like, I ain't always had it. I've also gone through it, going through it, or whatever it is. But we have to be honest with people because it's hard for everybody. Now, if you ain't never gone through it, God bless you. But if you have, you should share your story. That's what the Bible tells you to do. For those of y'all go to church, it says treat your testimonies like bones in a bag and pull them out where you need to remind yourself of, how far you come or what God has done for you. And you can also use it as a testimony to other people in order to help them as well. So we should always be honest. Thunder says also, family, check your local gardening center and your local plant store. Winter is coming and the fruit trees are usually or more off at this time. Find your grow zone by your zip code. Good advice. Don't believe media. It says, Sister Demetra, getting that grind from the mud. Strong sister got to, right? Ain't nobody gonna do nothing for me unless I do it for myself. So yeah, Gregory, how you doing? King Shaw, what's going on with you? Says FBAs, we've been surviving on our own for years and we will always do. We know how to survive. Yep. But we got to get past the survival mode and really go on and build because that's what we're really called to do because that's what our ancestors did. Jerron, how you doing? Says HEB bailed out the state of Texas by giving them enough money to provide for food banks and money for SNAP recipients, gave them enough money to last way into 2026 if the government doesn't. Yeah. So I heard HEB was doing some really good things. So shout out to them. I like HEB. Yeko Boy says, if they can save the killer whale is not a waste of to feed hungry people. Absolutely. Kubler, how you doing? Long time no see. Says God has nothing to do with this. The current situation is 100% man-made. By a vote would have prevented all this. If you're looking at it from the naked eye, but God allows things. Okay, God allows things, and we, especially as Black people in America, have been told to do for self. And here we are. So always remember God does allow things to happen, whether they're good or bad. Absolutely, Brother Thunder. Jupiter, how you doing? Says, listen, I couldn't even get a welfare nor wanted it. So to all these people that made all these kids and didn't marry, they about to feel it. Heaven forbids it shifts or civil unrest time. Build a tribe. Yeah, there's some people who's doing that, but that's not everybody or even most people who are having kids out the wazoo. Y'all do what you want with that. And there's getting benefits. There's people who really need it. So Raven says, Demetra, it's the same bunker. They're doing an extensive facelift. Okay, that's what I thought. I was like, yeah, I would imagine that they already have a bunker. King Shaw says, so as the prices of food are going to go down since food stamps are coming out? Heck no, they going up. Them grocery stores got to make that back. So yeah. Kevin, how you doing? Hope you're doing well. Let's see. So anyway, I made it to the bottom. Brother Damon says, if you're not prepping during and after this foolishness, you are wrong. Right. And don't be out there asking people for cups of beans and rice and stuff if you didn't do what you needed to do to prepare. So anyway, I love and appreciate every last one of y'all. I will see y'all back here tomorrow. Also, join me on the African Diaspora News Channel at 11 a.m. Central Time for another great conversation. And then back here at 5 p.m. So there's a lot of talking. I'm going to go rest my voice. So I'll see y'all later. Peace.